Hey, this is Wes and welcome to DinkLife. Today we're at the upper deck that sits on Portage Lakes near Akron, Ohio to revisit a film that was shot here almost 45 years ago called The Instructor. Written and directed by Don Bendell. We're going to go around Akron and check out all the film locations from the epic chase scene inside it and see how they look nowadays. The Instructor is about two self-defense schools that rival each other in a competition. Tension builds between them. Rivals of the two schools have a giant chase across Akron that goes all over the place. And now we're going to check out all those filming locations and see how they look.
So the fight scene begins at the upper deck, which is part of the Portage Lakes in Ohio. And it is still standing today, and I don't believe has changed a lick since this fight scene was filmed. It may have gotten a coat of paint or, the back deck might be new or something of that nature. But honestly, this place is still alive and kicking in 2024, and many people dock their boats there over the summer to have a drink and hear a band. I personally have only been to the upper deck once in my life. If you've been to the upper deck or you frequent the upper deck, drop a comment and let us know how you feel about it and what your thoughts are. From here, the fight jumps over to Waterloo Rd, which is about a 10-minute drive from the previous filming location. This corner has been here forever, this restaurant and this building, but it's been numerous things over the course of my lifetime. I do remember it being a Scorchers, but right across the street from it is the Waterloo restaurant, which is an institution in Akron, and it has been there forever. Here we are at the corner of Manchester and Waterloo. This intersection really hasn't changed much. There are two gas stations catty-cornered from each other, and then on the opposite sides are two car dealerships. Here we are at the corner of Main Street and Waterloo Road, where Holy Cross Cemetery sits. There is now a brand new Sheetz gas station there, but there are many other businesses along this stretch that remain the same. Heading about 12 minutes west to Memorial Parkway in Euler, not much has changed at all. There's a brick road there that still remains the same, and all that's really been added is a new dog park. And now we have made it to downtown Akron, where many of these alleyways and side streets still retain the exact same look as they did in the movie. The Quaker Square building is still standing, the federal courthouse is still there, and Greystone Hall. There are, however, a few newer additions that you wouldn't recognize from the film. These additions include such things as the John S. Knight Center, a brand new ballpark that the Akron Rubber Ducks play in, and a new roundabout that we just got a few years ago. This is the other end of Main Street where Gojo sat for many, many years, as well as Canal Place, which now houses a brewery and a couple of local events throughout the year, such as craft fairs and pickle fests. Now we head over to Aster Avenue in Firestone Park. If you're from this area and you're familiar with Firestone Park, many of these institutions remain the same. There's still the softball field, the Ido, and Bridgestone now sits there. Here we are, roughly 10 minutes north, heading into Cuyahoga Falls. We are right by the bridge that goes from Cuyahoga Falls into Akron, and this intersection has changed immensely since this was filmed. There used to be a comedy club there. There used to be a car dealership and a couple of restaurants. This whole strip has changed immensely since the 1980s. We are now heading back over to Firestone Park, and this is actually where I went to kindergarten, if you can believe it. The school is no longer open, and the playground that used to sit there is gone. It had those metal slides that you burned yourself on, so I'm sure that's why they tore it out. But there are many other things over in this area, like a community center and a library these days for people to enjoy. The chase then very briefly jumps back to Cuyahoga Falls and Gorge Metro Park, which we'll talk about in a minute when they jump back there again. Then about 10 minutes west of the Gorge, we go to Sand Run River Ford, which is exactly the same today as it was back then. This is another metro park that we have here in Summit County to enjoy during the lovely spring, summer, and fall months. And we have now arrived at the final scene of this whole entire fight sequence, and we are back at Gorge Metro Park. Now, strangely, this park had not changed at all in 40 some years, or at least since I had been going there as a child. And now, just now, in the last couple of years, they are tearing out the dam, and the trails are pretty much inaccessible. When we went there to film this, things had changed drastically. So I'm sure in the coming months, this won't even look familiar to people. If any of you watching this video have seen this movie, please drop a comment below and let us know what you think. And if you have any memories of the places that were captured in this film, let us know about those memories as well. And just remember to get out there and explore.